Hello guys, welcome back to Russia. As we learned in the previous video, Russia is the world's largest country by area and contains Europe's longest river, the Volga, and its largest lake, Landga. Russia also is home to the world's deepest lake, Baikal. And the country recorded the world's lowest temperature outside of the North and South Poles. So, in this session, I will introduce some more unique aspects of Russia. Firstly, bread and salt. Bread and salt is the traditional costume expressing hospitality, showing that the guest is welcomed. They are the first things to be brought into the home. Treating guests with bread and salt establishes trust and warm feelings among guests and hosts. Bread symbolizes that the recipients will never experience hunger, and the salt promises that their lives will be full of flavor. So, in Russian weddings, it is a traditional custom for the bride and groom to be greeted after the ceremony by family with bread and salt in an embroidered cloth. This confers good health and fortune unto the newlyweds. After bread and salt, let's take a look at the national drink in Russia, vodka. Although the origin of vodka is highly disputed between Russia and Poland, there's certainly no nation more known for their vodka consumption than Russia. In fact, the word vodka comes from voda, which in Russian means water. Over centuries, it has been known to cure ailments and is loaded with superstition and tradition. People also say the reason that Russians like to have vodka is related to the local weather, because drinking vodka can keep people warm in freezing places. Speaking of coldness, Russia is a country that receives a lot of snow during the winter months. Even in warmer months, the country has a cold climate because it lies in close proximity to the Arctic Circle. You would expect local people to stay indoors all the time in such a cold place. However, in Russia, it was a common practice in the 1950s to 1970s to make small children sleep outside for fresh air and sunlight. This even continued in the winter when children took a nap outside in the snow too. So, Russians grow up with the snow and coldness. We can see thick snow in Moscow and people wearing furs. These might also be your mental pictures on Russia. Its location makes Russia an ideal country for winter sports, and the local people enjoy various kinds of winter sports there, such as cross-country skiing, alpine skiing, snowboarding, ski jumping, speed skating, figure skating, luge, and more. Russia is quite competitive in these winter sports and has many top-ranked athletes and teams in these games. Some cities are famous because of winter games, such as Sochi, which was the host city for the 2014 Winter Olympic Games. The Olympic Games can surely direct the world's attention to the host city and country. But there are some other aspects of Russia which attract even more eyes from other parts of the world. One of them is ballet. As one of the main trademarks of the Russian culture, ballet has a special place in the hearts of most Russians. Appearing in the 18th century, the first Russian ballet group was based in St. Petersburg and performed the first Emperor ballet. At this time, the concept of the ballet started slowly changing too, switching from mythological and dramatic plots to more romantic storylines. This change shaped the manner of the dance. Ballerians started dancing en pointe to highlight the contrast between dance and reality. Russian composer Tchaikovsky wrote three of most famous ballets of all time: Swan Lake, Nutcracker, and The Sleeping Beauty. That's the reason why we think of ballet when we talk about Russia. For ballet, we can enjoy them at theaters, while for the next unique aspect, you can take them home as souvenirs. That's Matryoshka doors. Matryoshka doors are the set of wooden doors of decreasing size placed one inside another. The shape was inspired by a mother's portly figure depicting her fraternity and her significance as the center of the traditional Russian family. The act of nesting the doors inside the biggest door represents the mother and her ability to carry and conceive her sons and daughters. The first Russian nested door set was made in 1890 by wood-turning craftsman and wood carver Vasilij Vyustochkin from a design by Sergei Mayutin. It is said they were inspired by Eastern Asian nesting doors and began making their own versions. The whole world is connected via different aspects, and learning from other cultures and innovating the own culture can always bring delight to the shared future for the global community. We have talked about bread and salt, vodka, winter sports, ballet, and doors in Russia. You might have already been familiar with some of them, but you might not know about our last topic today, Russian service. Russian service is a form of table service. It is different from other services. In the classic Old French way, as well as English service, all the dishes were put on the table, serving from a diner's right side, and you helped yourself, taking what interested you. While in Russian service, diners are served their food already dished out for them on plates. The food is sent out of the kitchen piping hot when the time is right and offered to diners by waiters, serving from a diner's left side. This was a huge change when the practice arrived in Western Europe in the early 1800s. After the Russian service and other unique aspects of Russia, I believe the largest country has already impressed you a lot. But we have more to share with you in the third part of Russia. See you there!